Hi. So for these few days, I'm going to show you a puzzle game. I mean, not exactly puzzle game, just like a series of combinations of games made up by non-GUI ways. I mean, non-window builder. Why I don't use a window builder is because that's now like the window builder just get completely crashed every time I try to click a button. Okay. So our first step is to create a class. The reason why I'm going to create a class is that a class, it can create infinite number of users in the game. Okay. So first, what does a class create? The class creates several parts. The first part is all the, what's that called? All the information you are going to need in here. Like all the variables. You all know what variable means. It's like the number of time you win, the number of time you lose, the number of time there's a tie, and the game, and the average mark, and the good mark. And the gold. The gold is something that you can able to trade with others in the game. And the diamond, how does diamond use? Okay, this should be discussed in the next chapter. Next. Okay, this is the first part. The second part is something that belong to him. See, like you give him a name and the username and the password. So why I'm going to use this? Because this, I see that there are specifically two names here. There's a one string name at line 13 and there's another at line 16. So like the system, like to make it more clear, like actually if I don't add this, like it will have a trouble by looking like this. Useless statement. So it points out that the name at this is equals to that. I suppose so? Yes, I think I'm right. The third part is a bunch of setter. It is used for like people to set the data. So it has a specific format of doing set. Set something. It's like blah 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 string. So this is the thing you are going to enter later. So after the set, the setting event, the set, the new, the one like you want to do, like the one you want to change will be changed based on things, based on this thing. It is look like a transfer station, like just like me send the data from station A and get it to something like the string here, and the string here at B will send it to C. And there's a getter part. It seems like that I haven't write the getter part, but I'm going to write them now. So how I'm going to write it. First, let me just give you an example of get name. It doesn't need to include any parameters. We call this in the bracket a parameter. What's that called? Return. We just use a return directly. Return name. Wait, but it's not correct. Wait. Oh, sorry. What should I do? String. Yes, since name is a string, yes, string void, string get name, perfect. Remember that void does not have a return. Remember this. And we set another public int gold. Remember, this is useless. Sorry, not useless, I mean useful. Okay, return gold. This also a gold here. And public int diamond. Sorry, I don't mean to be that. Return diamond. So after that, like when you access it at the other place, like they are still going to like you can like access the actual data of it by the function this. We call this a type of getter. I mean, this is not the name I create. It actually appears on like, what's that called? Eclipse. Like this a suggestion called get, set, getter, and setter. So this is the fourth part we need. And this is the fifth part, which is the last step. It is to check whether you are correct or not. It is called display. Display is going to display some of the relevant data from you. So those are the 5 key points that is specified here. Like, let me state it again. First part is the variables you will need for the entire class in order, like for class, I mean user, so that will be beneficial to them. The second one is some variables that will be in a close connection with the, how do I describe it? With the user in the public classify. Public something. Three is getter, which this is easy. The first one is setter. Variable printing display. It actually like has a problem, like because you know, like it is not all. It is only like the part on the first part. I mean the 5 steps on the first part. So if you are going to create multiple users based on the class, it is not enough to have one. You will need like 2, what's that called? 2 Java file. But you actually like can combine them into one if you want. Like, however, like I prefer to make them into 2, so let's do them into 2. So when you create the second file, the way to create like the user is like this. Classify 1, classify 2. So they are, so like, which this step in this gives him the name. Why it gives him the name? Because I state the name, I suppose it is here. So the name just becomes automatically. And here is another name. The second, we call him Jim. The first people, we call him Tom. And this, we use this way, we are able to create 2, what's that called? I mean 2 account. Then those are the action I do. Those are the way to check. So let me try when I run it. Run. Okay, here. So now it shows that the first person's like it should be like this is the second person and this is the first person because they are displayed, I mean printed separately. So if it is two person combined together, then like I think you are using a fake Eclipse. You can like download a true Eclipse because yeah, okay. Or it might be like your code is wrong, but so okay, so how we check this is right? One display. It displays like gold. The gold's basic data is 0 and we set gold, so it is 50. Okay, this is right. And the password is also right. Same to B. So which means like this code is actually working. By the way, you can actually create a, what's that called? Array. Classify arrayment is equal to new classify. You actually can't believe it. Like I actually can't believe it like when I do it. Okay, but I suppose it's actually like known for many person. Okay, so it is arrayment. Okay. So we can actually store the data in there. 0 is equals to 1 and arrayment 1 is equals to 2. You see? And if it is surprisingly amazing, like if you try turn this into this, it will also work. Arrayment 1. So which means it is also able to store. Storage. Yes. So which means we now have done some parts of this. There's some additional parts that I need to explain. The first is check password, which is used for check word passing. I think you definitely understand this. Like, if it's equal to the original password, then it goes true, or else it goes false. Or it has a reset password. If the password is correct, we have the permission to like reset, or else okay. So, and there is also a generating password and generating username, which is creating randomly. So they are able to create randomly. Oh, by the way, I would prefer to change this into that. Generate username. Okay, I give him a 9-digit, but seem like I'm not writing the correct thing. Generate username. Well, cannot convert this to string. Oh my god. I forget to like change them to int. Okay, let me think. Let's change string to int. So, okay, for time problem, like I'm going to call this video down. So there is still some problem on the code, which I'm going to continue talking about tomorrow. But still, thank you for your watching. Remember to click subscribe below.